Let me tell you something that is going to sound totally wrong at first. When a man really sees you as his partner for life, he does not actually treat you better. I know that sounds wild, but stay with me here, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything you think you know about how guys show love. He does not treat you better, he treats you different, and most women totally miss this because they are looking for the wrong stuff. They are waiting for more flowers, more sweet words, more big romantic things. Meanwhile, the guy who is actually serious is showing up in ways that do not look romantic at all. In fact, sometimes they look kind of boring. And if you have ever felt confused about where things are going with someone, or if you have ever wondered why some relationships just feel more real while others feel like you are always guessing, this is exactly why. Because when a guy decides you are his person, something changes inside him. His whole vibe shifts, not louder, not flashier, just different. And today we are going to talk about the 4 things that actually happen when a guy sees you as the one. Not the movie version, the real version, the version that actually matters. Before we jump in, I want to say something. If you are here watching this, you are not here to mess around. You are here because you want the truth. You want to understand what is really going on. And I get that. So, I am going to be straight with you. No fluff, no feel-good stuff that does not actually help. Just what really goes down when a guy mentally and emotionally locks in. Because here is the thing nobody talks about. Guys do not announce when they have decided. There is no big talk, no announcement, no moment where he sits you down and goes, "Okay, I have made my choice, and it is you." What happens instead is way quieter. His actions shift, his priorities change. The way he acts around you starts to feel different, and if you know what to look for, you will see it clear as day. So, let us break down what guys actually start doing when a woman stops being just someone they are seeing and becomes their person. 1. He stops trying to wow you and starts trying to get you. This is huge, and most women get this one totally backwards. In the beginning, when a guy likes you, he is putting on a show. He is showing you his best self. He is telling you his coolest stories, showing you his good side, making sure you see all the stuff that makes him look great. He is charming, he is paying attention, he is bringing his best effort, and it feels good, right? Because who does not want someone trying that hard? But here is what happens when a guy sees you as the one. That show stops, not because he has checked out, but because he is getting real. He stops asking easy questions and starts asking deep ones. He is not just asking how your day was, he is asking why that thing bothered you, why you got upset, what you are actually stressed about underneath what you said. He starts noticing the stuff that does not make you look perfect, your moods, the things that tick you off, the stuff you are weird about. And instead of backing away or pretending he does not see it, he digs in. He wants to figure it out. Because here is what changes in his brain. When a guy is just dating around, he is thinking, does she like me? Am I good enough? How do I keep her hooked? When a guy sees you as the one, he starts thinking, who is she really? What does she need? How does she work? It is a completely different thing, and you can feel it in how he talks to you. The talks get deeper, less fun and flashy, more real. He is not trying to keep you entertained anymore. He is trying to understand you. And I know this can feel weird because it is less exciting than the early days. It does not give you those butterflies, but that is actually the whole point. When a guy is working to understand you, not wow you, he is building something. He is studying you because in his head, you are not temporary. You are not just for now. You are the person he is planning to do life with. So he needs to know how you think, how you feel, what makes you you. That is not him getting bored. That is him getting serious, real serious. And here is how you know the difference. A guy who is just into you asks stuff to keep the chat going. A guy who sees you as the one asks stuff and actually remembers what you said. He brings up things from weeks ago. He connects things you did not even know were related. He notices when something you mentioned before is happening again. That is not just being nice. That is a guy building a whole file in his head about you because you matter. Let me give you a real example of what this looks like. You mention in passing that you do not like it when people are late because your dad was always late picking you up as a kid. A guy who is just casually into you. He forgets that detail in like 2 days. A guy who sees you as the one. He shows up early from that point on. Not because you asked him to, not because you reminded him, but because he connected the dots. He understood that for you, being on time is about feeling valued. That is not surface level stuff. That is deep understanding. And when a guy is operating at that level with you, when he is paying attention like that, it is because in his mind, you are already his. He is just learning how to love you better. Another thing that happens here is he stops trying to be perfect around you. In the beginning, guys hide their messy side. We do not want you to see us stressed or tired or grumpy or unsure. We want you to see the polished version. But when a guy decides you are the one, he lets you see the real stuff. He comes over after a rough day and does not pretend everything is fine. He tells you when he is worried about something. He lets you see him when he is not at his best. And that might seem like a bad thing, like he is getting too comfortable. But it is actually the opposite. It means he trusts you with the real him, not just the highlight reel, but the whole thing. And that level of trust only happens when a guy has decided you are safe, when he knows you are not going anywhere. Here is something else that shifts. He starts caring about what you care about. Not in a fake way where he is just pretending to be interested, but genuinely. You talk about something that matters to you and he actually listens. He asks follow-up questions. He remembers details. He brings it up later. If you are stressed about something at work, he checks in about it. If you are excited about something coming up, he is excited with you. If something is bothering you, it bothers him too. Not because he has to care, but because your world has become part of his world. What affects you affects him now. And that is a huge shift from a guy who is just casually dating to a guy who is emotionally locked in. 2, he starts making choices with you already in the picture. Okay, this one is massive, and women almost never catch it happening. When a guy sees you as the one, you start showing up in his future before he even tells you. Let me break down what I mean. Guys are planners. We think ahead. We map out our lives around goals, schedules, what we are doing, where we are going to live, what job we are taking, how we are building things. And when you are just someone a guy is casually seeing, you are not in that plan. You are on the side. He is making his choices based on what works for him. And then he fits you in if it lines up. But when you become the one, everything flips. Suddenly, you are in his head when he is thinking about what is next. He is looking at a job, and his first thought is, how would this mess with her life? Would she be cool moving? Does this work with what she wants? He is planning a trip, and before he even brings it up, he is already thinking about if you would like it, if it works with your stuff, if it is something you would want to do together. And sometimes this comes out in random ways. He will say something like, when we go there, or our kids would probably, or we should really think about, and then he stops because he did not mean to say it out loud. It just came out because in his head you are already part of what is coming. This is different from a guy who mentions the future to see how you react or to test if you are on the same page. This is a guy who has already put you in his life, in his mind, and now his brain is figuring out everything based on that. And here is the thing, he is not doing this to trap you or lock you down. He is doing it because when a guy emotionally picks a woman, his brain naturally starts working with her in it. We cannot stop it. It is just how we work. We start thinking, okay, if she is going to be part of my world, how do I build a world that works for us both? That switch is one of the clearest signs a guy means it. He is not just having fun with you in the now. He is building a life with you already in it. And you will see this in small stuff too. He will mention plans months out, like obviously you will be around. He will talk about his family's holidays and include you without checking first. He will reference stuff that has not even happened yet, but in his mind already has you in it. That is not him assuming, that is him committed. Because a guy does not build his life around a woman unless he has decided she is not going anywhere. Here is another way this shows up. He starts thinking about how his decisions affect you even when you are not there. Let us say he is out with his friends and they want to go somewhere or do something. If he is just casually dating you, he does what he wants and tells you about it later. But when you are the one, he is thinking about how you would feel about it. Not because you are controlling him or because he is scared of you, but because your opinion matters to him now. You have become part of his decision-making process. He is checking in, asking what you think, running stuff by you, not for permission, but because he genuinely wants your input. Because in his mind, big decisions are not just his anymore. They are yours together. And I know some women hear this and think it sounds like he is losing himself or giving up his independence. But that is not what this is. This is a guy choosing to include you because he wants to, because life feels better when you are part of it. When a guy voluntarily starts running his life decisions through the filter of how does this affect us, that is not weakness, that is partnership. That is him saying without words that you are not just along for the ride, you are in the driver's seat with him. Let me give you another example. Say he is thinking about buying a car or moving to a new place or changing jobs. A guy who is casually dating mentions it after he has already decided. A guy who sees you as the one brings it up while he is still thinking about it. He asks your thoughts. He considers your schedule, your life, your needs. He does not make big moves without looping you in. And that is not him asking for permission. That is him treating you like a partner, like someone whose life is tied to his. And when a guy starts operating like that, when you are not an afterthought, but a main thought, that tells you everything about where his head is at. 3, he stops caring about winning fights and starts caring about fixing things. Let me keep it real with you. Guys have egos, all of us. We like being right. We do not like losing. And early on or in relationships where a guy isn't really all in, that ego is in charge. If there is a fight, he is focused on winning, on making sure you get his point, on not giving in, on keeping his pride. But when a guy sees you as the one, something big changes when you fight. The goal switches. He is not trying to win anymore. He is trying to fix it. And that sounds like a small thing, but it is everything. Because when a guy really values you, his brain thinks differently during arguments. Instead of thinking, how do I prove I am right? He starts thinking, how do I make sure this does not wreck us? Instead of needing the last word, he needs to make sure you two are good. Instead of letting the silent treatment go on for days to make a point, he reaches out because the distance bugs him more than his ego. Now, does this mean he never gets defensive? No. Does it mean he is suddenly perfect every time you disagree? Absolutely not. But here is what changes. He comes back. Even if he gets mad, even if he walks away, even if he needs space to cool down, he comes back. He will say stuff like, can we talk about this? I do not want this to turn into something bigger. Let us figure this out. And that might not sound like much, but that is huge, because what he is really saying is, you matter more than being right. When a guy values the relationship over his ego, that is not temporary. That is a mindset shift. It goes from me versus you to us versus the problem. And when you feel that shift, when you notice he is more interested in solving things than proving things, that is when you know he is thinking long term, because anyone can fight to win. But choosing to fight for the relationship, that takes someone who has already decided you are worth it. And let me tell you, when a guy gets to that place, arguments feel different. They are still hard, sure, but they do not feel dangerous. They do not feel like they are going to end everything. They feel like bumps you are working through together. And that safety, that is what real commitment feels like. Another thing that happens here is he stops keeping score. You know that thing where someone brings up every little thing you have ever done wrong in a fight? Well, you did this last month and you did that last year. When a guy sees you as the one, that stops, not because he forgets stuff, but because he is not holding on to it anymore. He is not building a case against you. He is not stacking up evidence to use later, because in his mind, you are on the same team, and you do not keep score against your own teammate. You work together. So even when he is frustrated, even when he is upset, he is not pulling out the highlight reel of your mistakes. He is staying in the current moment, dealing with the current issue, trying to move forward. That is maturity, and that is a guy who is in it for real. Here is something else you will notice. He starts apologizing differently early on, or with guys who aren't serious. Apologies are about ending the fight. Sorry, can we just move on? But when a guy sees you as the one, apologies become about understanding. He will say, I am sorry I hurt you. I did not realize that would land that way. Help me understand why that bothered you so I do not do it again. See the difference? One is about shutting down the conversation. The other is about opening it up. One is about making the problem go away. The other is about actually solving it. And when a guy cares enough to understand not just what he did wrong, but why it hurt you, that is someone who is thinking about the long game, because he knows he is going to be around. So he needs to learn how to do better. 4, he becomes steady even when nothing exciting is happening. This one separates the guys who are really serious from the guys who just like the thrill. Anyone can be amazing when things are new and fun. Anyone can be romantic when there is excitement. Anyone can show up when everything feels good. But when a guy sees you as the one, he stays consistent even when life gets boring, even when the spark isn't fireworks anymore, even when it is just normal everyday life. He does not disappear when things feel too regular. He does not pull back when the honeymoon phase ends. He does not start looking around because the rush is gone. He stays, because real love, the kind that lasts, isn't about the high. It is about the steady. When a guy is just attracted or just interested, his effort goes up and down with his feelings. When he is excited, he is all in. When he is bored, he is checked out. When things feel intense, he is texting. When things feel flat, he is a ghost. But when a guy sees you as the one, his effort evens out. It becomes reliable. He calls when he says he will. He shows up when he says he will be there. He follows through on plans. He does not flake when something better comes up. And he does all this without you chasing him, reminding him, or dropping hints. He just does it. Because to him, showing up for you is not optional. It is just what he does. And here is the thing that women need to understand. Consistency is not exciting. It does not make your heart race. It does not feel like passion. It feels like normal, like routine. And because of that, a lot of women do not value it the way they should. They mistake it for him losing interest. They think he is not trying as hard anymore. Maybe he is getting bored. But that is not what is happening. What is happening is he has stopped performing and started being. He stopped trying to win you and started being with you. And that shift, as boring as it might feel sometimes, is everything, because consistency is what builds trust. Consistency is what makes you feel safe. Consistency is what lets you actually relax and be yourself, because you are not constantly wondering if he is going to disappear. Think about it like this. Excitement is when someone shows up with flowers out of nowhere. Consistency is when someone shows up every single day, even without flowers, just because they said they would. Excitement gets your attention. Consistency keeps your heart. And when a guy becomes that steady presence in your life, when you stop wondering if he is going to flake or disappear or change his mind, that is when you know he has made his decision. Because guys do not stay consistent with women they are unsure about. We just do not. If we are not sure, we keep our options open. We stay flexible. We do not lock in. But when we are sure, we become that rock, that steady thing you can count on. Not because we are trying to prove something, but because in our minds, you are ours and we are yours. And that is just how it is now. And I want to be clear about something. Steady does not mean boring. It does not mean he stops being fun or stops surprising you or stops putting in effort. It just means his effort is not tied to his mood anymore. It is not dependent on whether he feels like it that day. It is just part of how he operates now. You are part of his routine, part of his life, part of his daily reality. And when you become that embedded in a guy's world, when he does not have to think about whether to show up because showing up is just what he does. That is when you have gone from someone he is dating to someone he is committed to. Now, let us talk about something else that happens with this steady thing. He stops being all over the place emotionally early on, or with guys who aren't serious. The emotional energy is all over the map. One day he is super into you, texting all day, making plans, being sweet. Next day he is distant, quiet, barely responding, and you are sitting there trying to figure out what you did wrong or what changed. But when a guy sees you as the one, that roller coaster levels out. His mood towards you becomes more stable. Not flat, not boring, just stable. You are not constantly trying to read him or figure out where his head is at. You just know because he is steady with you. His affection does not spike and drop. It stays. And that consistency in how he feels about you and shows up for you, that is what lets you actually build something real. Here is what I want you to understand about this point. Women are often taught to look for passion, for intensity, for the guy who cannot live without you, for the drama and the big emotions and the whole "I need you" thing. And look, I get it. That stuff feels good. It feels like love. But intensity isn't stability. Passion is not commitment. The guy who cannot live without you on Tuesday might decide he is fine without you on Friday. But the guy who just steadily shows up day after day, week after week, month after month, even when it is not exciting, even when it is just regular life, that is the guy who means it. That is the guy who has built his life around you. Because steady takes decision. Steady takes commitment. It takes a guy who has already made up his mind and isn't changing it based on how he feels today. Let me tell you something else about this consistency thing. It shows up in how he talks to you. When a guy is casually into someone, communication is random. He texts when he feels like it. He calls when he's bored. He reaches out when he wants something. But when a guy sees you as the one, communication becomes regular, not obsessive, not constant, just regular. You hear from him. You know he is thinking about you. Even if it is just a quick text or a short call, there is a rhythm to it. And that rhythm, that predictability, that is what creates security, because you are not sitting around wondering if he is going to reach out or if he has forgotten about you. You just know he will. And that knowing, that is what peace feels like in a relationship. Here is another way this steadiness shows up. He stays present even when things get hard, life gets messy, work gets stressful, family stuff comes up, health issues happen, and when a guy is casually dating, that is when he tends to disappear. "Oh, I am dealing with some stuff right now. I will hit you up later." But when a guy sees you as the one, he does not vanish when life gets complicated. If anything, he leans in more because in his mind, you are not someone he has to protect his image around. You are someone he can be real with. So when things get tough, instead of pulling away, he pulls you closer. He tells you what is going on. He lets you support him. He stays connected even when it is hard. And that is huge because that tells you he is not just here for the fun times. He is here for all of it. So here is what I want you to take away from all of this. When a guy sees you as the one, it does not look like the movies. It is not grand gestures and big speeches and dramatic moments. It is quieter than that. It is him wanting to understand you, not just impress you. It is him making decisions with you already in his head. It is him caring more about fixing problems than winning arguments. And it is him being steady even when nothing exciting is happening. Those four things, they do not sound romantic, they do not give you butterflies, but they are what actually matters. Because anyone can be exciting for a month, but showing up like this, that takes a guy who has decided, really decided. And here is the part that most people won't tell you, the part that actually matters most. This shift does not happen because you chased him. It does not happen because you proved yourself. It does not happen because you played it cool or played hard to get or followed some strategy. It happens when a guy meets a woman who knows who she is, a woman who is not auditioning, a woman who is not bending herself into shapes to make him choose her. Because here is the truth. A guy does not see a woman as the one because she worked harder than everyone else. He sees her as the one because something about her, about who she is, just fits, it clicks. And when it clicks for a guy, really clicks, he does not need convincing, he does not need chasing, he just starts showing up in these ways naturally, because that is what happens when a man decides. So, if you are sitting there wondering if a guy sees you as the one, do not listen to what he says. Do not wait for some big declaration. Watch what he does. Does he want to know you or impress you? Is he making plans with you in them or around you? When you fight, is he trying to win or trying to fix it? And is he steady, or does his effort go up and down like a yo-yo? Those answers will tell you everything, because real commitment does not hide. It does not play games. It shows up clearly, consistently, and without confusion. And when a guy truly sees you as the one, you won't have to wonder, because clarity is not confusing. Clarity is clear. Look, I know this might not be what you wanted to hear. I know you might have been hoping for something more romantic, more exciting, more like what you see in movies. But I am giving you the real version, because the real version is what actually helps you. The real version is what lets you tell the difference between a guy who likes you and a guy who has decided on you. And there is a massive difference. Guys who like you come and go. Guys who have decided on you stay. Guys who like you show up when it is convenient. Guys who have decided on you show up. Period. Guys who like you make you feel excited. Guys who have decided on you make you feel safe. And safe is what lets you actually build a life with someone. So pay attention. Watch what he does, not what he says. Notice if he is doing these 4 things, or if he is just keeping you around while he figures it out. And most importantly, value yourself enough to not settle for someone who has not decided, because you are not an option. You are not a maybe. You are not a let's see where this goes. You are the one. And the right guy, the one who actually sees that, he will show you through his actions every single day. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but consistently, steadily, clearly. And that is how you will know, not because he told you, but because he showed you. Because at the end of the day, words are easy. Anyone can say the right things. Anyone can tell you what you want to hear. But actions take effort, actions take intention, actions take a guy who has made a choice and is sticking to it. So stop listening to what guys say and start watching what they do.